Hi, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Studio. I am Yolanda Cadet, your host, and I want to welcome you back to normal activities after you traveled and had such a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend with family, friends, and loved ones. But before we get started, I want to take care of some housekeeping business. Did you do the following? Did you, one, go to YouTube and subscribe to Let's Talk Studio so that you are aware, so that you get your notification when we send out a new video? You did? Great. Did you inform two friends about YouTube, about our Let's Talk Studio? You did that too? Thank you so very much for doing that. Did you share this video? Thank you. Did you encourage your family and friends to follow us on social media, both YouTube and Facebook? If you did that, thank you so very much. Because as you know, we talk about everything on Let's Talk Studio. Nothing is off limits. I want to remind you that our show is done in English and in Creole. So if you have some Haitian friends that don't speak English, you want them to participate, voyez link lan bali. Nou pale Creole, nou pale Anglais. Creole pale Creole kompren. Si sa m toujou di nou. I swear, again, let's switch back to English. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the second part of our conversation on serial dating. If you remember, when we talked about serial dating last time, we talked about who these people are, what are their MOs, and how they go about, dating you and interacting with you as they go out with you. We had so much conversation offline after the video was posted that I wanted to do a second part, which is someone asked me, and I would say about 50% of the people that we interacted with after the show asked, well, Yolanda, how is it that we can't take someone who's a serial dater and turn them into someone that's now into a committed relationship? Because we think that we are that special that we can take this person and totally make them over and change them. The answer is no. You cannot take a serial dater and make them into someone that is now into a committed relationship that is all about you and focusing on you, because someone who's a serial dater is a bachelor or bachelorette for the idea of them. Stop chasing, stop looking every which way so that they can focus on you is something that is going to be hard for them to do. And unless they want to do it, you cannot make them do it. Because what is making them a serial dater has to do with them. It has nothing to do with you. You're not the reason that they're the serial dater. What is going on is that they like the chase. They like the idea of being in love. They like the idea of going out and be seen with different people all the time. That's what they like. And when you as a person, you come into their lives and then you thinking, you know what? I am so special. And don't get me wrong, you are absolutely special. Again, somebody who's a serial dater, their decision to change has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them, how they feel about themselves, where they are in their lives. And for some of them, they will never grow up to be the person that you think that you can make them to be. How is it that you think that you can make somebody change because of you? People don't change because of people. People change because they want to change. Because change is a process. And the process of change is coming from them to them. They're the one that has to endure the process of the change. They're the one that has to stop the chase. They're the one that has to calm themselves down to see that, you know what I have is good. It's worth me saying that where I am, I'm comfortable. Where I am, I'm able to do. They're the one that has to face that. They're the one that has to be able to keep promises made. They're the one that has to develop empathy. Because part of someone who is a serial dater is that their sense of empathy, where they can put themselves into your shoes and see how you feel and be able to talk to you about how you are. What is it that you want? They don't have that. They lack that. They're the one that has to do all that change. And if you're under the impression that your goodness of worth or your goodness of fit is going to make this person change, it's not. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. Let me give you some example. Someone who's a serial dater tend to make a lot of empty promises. They tell you, I am going to do this. You, as the person that is being promised, and you're like, okay, he promised he was going to do it, or she promised she was going to do it, she's going to do it. Unfortunately, they will not do it. Because again, there's no chasing involved. There's no energy involved. There's nothing that's expanded. There's no, you know how when you're skipping a rope and the rope is turning like this? There has to be another person at the end to turn the rope, or you tie the rope to a tree. Well, they already have the tree, and they already know what the branches of the trees are. Because remember, somebody who's a serial dater like to get intimate. They crave that intimacy with you. And once they get that intimacy, no matter what level of that intimacy is, they already got it. So they stop chasing. And then you are thinking like, oh, you know what? He promised so, or she promised so, they're going to keep it. They're not. And when you call them out on the fact that they broke their promise to you, they don't involve you in a lot of the things that's going on in their lives, they will charm the pants off of you. And I mean literally. They will use every excuse in the book. They will tell you how much they are just so sorry. I am so sorry that I miss our date. I had something that I had to do for work. Because remember, a serial dater, work is their life. Work is their life. Work is where their focus is. And that doesn't mean that somebody who is career-oriented or career-driven is a serial dater. That is two different people. But what we're talking about is someone that is constantly on that chase, on that thrill. Remember when we talked about when they are with you, their eyes are everywhere like this. They're looking around and they fixated on everything but you? Yeah. Work becomes what they are, and they're constantly talking about it. And every excuse that is made for broken promises has to deal with, I had an important project that I needed to do. I had a meeting that I had to attend. I had to meet with some colleague so we can discuss whatever. And it's always an excuse, and that excuse is always tied to work. And because everything is tied to work, work becomes their priority, not you. And they are unable to actually say, you know what? I'm not going to answer that email. I'm not going to pay attention to that text from work. But because of who they are, they're like, you know what? I need to answer this text from work. I need to answer this email from work, because everything becomes about work. That's where the fulfillment is for them when they are not chasing. And because they are constantly chasing and focusing on work and not focusing on you, they're not talking about themselves. They're not talking about future plans. They're not talking about what it is that they want to do. They're not discussing anything. They're not even introducing you to any of their friends. You know that they have to have friends because they're very sociable, they're very likable, but you're not being introduced to their friends. You're not being talked about to their friends. You don't even exist in their circle of influence, which is their friends, their family. You don't like, you don't even exist. How are you going to change that person? Are you going to force yourself on their circle of influence? Are you going to say, you have to introduce me as your girlfriend? Or you have to introduce me as somebody that's in your life? Why? Because if you're important, he or she is going to automatically introduce you. That goes back to that old adage, you can force a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You cannot change somebody into something that they are not, to something that they know that they can't be. And when you try to, say, I really want to know, who are your friends? Where are you going? And all of this stuff. All of a sudden, their mental health becomes an issue. I am so depressed because, it bothers me so much that I can't see you all the time. I am so messed up because it's the pressure of dating and career and this is just too much. Because then they start making excuses so that they can walk away. I don't really want to hurt your feelings, but you know what? It's not you, it's me. What do you mean it's not you, it's me? Because too often we accept that excuse from people that it's not you, it's me. Then what is it about you that's wrong? Because they won't be able to tell you. Or if they do tell you, because they're so weak, they are going to use all the charm. Some serial daters are so good at it that they will have you take them to the doctor, go to the pharmacy, buy medicine, and have you also thinking that something is wrong with you. Not with them, but with you. Because that's part of who they are. That's part of the charm that comes with them. That's part of that charisma. A lot of people who are serial daters are very charismatic. And that's not to say, again, that is not to say that every single person who's charismatic is a serial dater. But I'm sure you know exactly who I'm talking about because you've met some of them. And I suspect some of you have done some of the same behavior and characteristics that a lot of the serial daters do. When you don't want to be the bad guy in the relationship, you like, it's not you, it's me. I'm the one that's not ready. I'm the one that's depressed. I'm the one that's this. I'm the one that's that. Be an adult. Plain and simple. Be an adult. You don't want to be in the relationship? Just be an adult and say, you know what? I came into the relationship. I thought it was going to be something that I wanted, but we can't be together. Be an adult. Remember how we talked about serial daters ghosting you or making you feel like less than or insignificant? All that is part of that charm. They will guilt you into thinking that you were not enough for them, or that you were too much for them. You were too intense. You were too needy. You were too this. You were too that. When in actuality, it is them, not you. And because you are becoming more aware, you have to be okay with asking questions. Asking questions that you need answers to. Why is it that you don't introduce me to your family or to your friends? You were at work? Really? What kind of meeting were you having at, oh, I don't know, midnight? Just an example. What kind of work were you doing at midnight? This project seems to take a long time. Ask questions. You're in a relationship because you want to develop something with somebody. Stop wasting your time and stop being so afraid that if you ask question that the person is not going to like you. Your time is too precious to waste. Your time is too precious to waste, because when you waste all that time with someone, when a relationship that went nowhere, that had no potential to begin with, then you are not going to get that time back. Not only are you not going to get that time back, you also are going to start feeling some kind of way towards the opposite sex. You know, she used me. She hurt me. But you know the sign. Something inside was telling you this is not right. Too often we don't want to trust our gut instinct because, again, we don't want to admit that, I made a mistake with this person. Remember, dating is an audition. It's not a marriage. You date this person because you want to know this person. You want to see if this person is the person that is right for you. Is this person complimenting you? Is this person an asset, not a liability? Anybody that's a liability to you should not be in your life. Anybody that is a liability to you should not be in your life, because you want to be that person's asset. You want that person to bring something to you. You want that person to make you better or help you get to a point where you are better than where you were yesterday. Please don't fall into this category of thinking like, oh, you know what? If I stick around, I'm going to fix this person. You cannot fix people. You cannot fix people. No matter how well-meaning you are, no matter how loving you are, you cannot fix people. A serial dater is not going to turn into Prince Charming overnight. They're not. And it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them, how they feel about themselves, who they are, where they see themselves, and how they view life in general. So please don't think that this is all about, it's my fault that I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't this for this person, or I wasn't that for this person. Again, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. It has to do with them. If you are in such a relationship, examine it. Talk to someone about what is going on. Someone that you trust, not just anybody that you're going to go and you're going to say, oh, I'm with this person. Listen to what other people are telling you about the relationship. Because sometimes when we're in a relationship with a serial dater, we tend not to see the surrounding, but we have tunnel vision. And when you have that tunnel vision, you can't see to the left or to the right, but your friends, your family can see to the left and to the right. Hear them out. Don't think that the person is being jealous because they're telling you some of the things that they're saying. Don't think that the person doesn't want you to be happy because they're telling you, I would really be careful about that person. Hear them and then make the decision. Because again, your life is too precious to waste. Your life is too precious to waste. You are wonderfully made. Someone is out there praying for you. So, again, I want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to do what? Notify 2 friends that our show is done both in English and in Creole, so that if they don't speak English, they can always hear us in native tongue of Creole. And also follow us on social media, on Facebook, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Yolanda Cadet, and this has been a production of Let's Talk Studio. Have a great night, everybody.